Starting recording. Okay. Welcome everybody. Today we are going to make some meringues and we're going to colour them red, white and blue because July the 4th is coming up. So let's be patriotic. So to start with, we are going to get the eggs. Now, to make meringues, actually eggs are better off being warmer, not straight from the fridge. You will have a nicer and easier time making the meringue come up nice, thick and white. So let's just drop it on the edge there, and then we'll use the shell to help us. Now the key is not to get any yolk into it because the yolk has fat and the fat will stop the meringue from actually turning white. So it's very important to not let the egg yolk in there. It's for that same reason we make sure we're using all the equipment that will not be able to have fat attached to it, any sort of fat. So a glass bowl or a metal bowl is the best because you can totally get those washed and fat free, whereas plastic bowls, much harder to do. And the same with your whisks. I used these same whisks this morning to make crepes. So clearly some fat in that. So I had to make sure I had washed them very well in hot soapy water before I try and use them right now. So there we go. We have 2 egg yolks in our bowl. Once again, I'm using the glass bowl so you can all see what's happening. And I'm just going to start by whisking them up till they turn white. So here we go. Thank you, Corey, for answering that. I'm not so good at noticing all the comments. So Corey is there helping you all and answering anything. He's just through in our office. So there we go. I've got the meringues to come up and they've started to go white. I've got air in them. Now I'm going to add a pinch, and I mean a pinch. So I'm literally, if you imagine if you pinch somebody, you know, the first of the month, sort of pinch, literally just take a pinch of cream of tartar, and that's going to help hold it together, but you do not need a lot. So just a pinch. And then I've got the sugar here. The recipe's obviously on our website. And I'm going to just put half of that in and whisk it up now. So we're going to change the look from this slightly creamy egg white look to much more of a white look. That is very true, Manu. The low, slow cooking of a meringue makes a huge difference. The only time you ever should want to try and cook meringue fast is if you're doing something like a baked Alaska. So you've got a sponge base, you then put ice cream on it, cover the ice cream with meringue and throw that in the oven 5 minutes because you're trying to not melt the ice cream. Otherwise, long and slow. So if I turn that way, you should be able to see now that it's got a nice glossy look to it because we've now added the sugar. You can tell by looking at my whisk that it's hanging off nicely. So there's 2 ways to add the final sugar. So I'm going to put that in there. I could either whisk the sugar or I could fold it in gently. The difference that's going to happen is if I fold this sugar in, I'm going to get a chewier, softer meringue. If I whisk it in, I'm going to get a thicker meringue, which makes it ideal for piping, and I'm piping today. So it depends what you like and what you're using it for. If I'm just going to be using them for decoration on top of a cake, I have a particularly gorgeous mocha meringue cake that I love. I actually do not whisk these in at the end. I literally will pipe small, little, smaller than my finger really, and I use those for decorations. But I want those meringues to have that little chewy feel to them. So play around, experiment. It's pretty easy to do, and it's about you, not me. Let's whisk in this last bit. There we go. So that is our meringue. I'm just going to put that behind me so I have the wires everywhere. I'm going to just get all the meringue off. There we go. See, I have some small last lips here to help me. And then we're going to pipe them. And I will stop that timer, because that's got to be fairly annoying for you all. But clearly I'm not going to make you sit here for 50 minutes while I cook small individual meringues. The cooking time for meringue is going to be, depending on the size, if you're doing small individual ones, then it's going to be about that 50 minutes to 1 hour that you want them in a fairly cool oven. The temperature is going to be about 250 Fahrenheit, maybe 130 centigrade there. But if it's a convection oven, you need to drop that temperature because you actually don't want it to be holding that all the way through. Let's get rid of these. Should have a bowl for that, but I don't. So here we go. I said I'd stop that timer. That's telling me the meringues for you all to see magically are ready, but they'll do no harm sitting in the oven. So I'm going to take the piping bags. I'm just using disposable ones. Very easy to use parchment paper as well. Now, what you always need to do is fold the top of the piping bag over. There's a number of reasons for this. One, we want to not get our hands covered in meringue, so they're protected now by this. It also means meringue is quite sticky and difficult to get in there. It's going to go further down, and then I can fold this bit up. So I've kept all the meringue much more neatly in place. Right, so here we go. Let's get the meringue, in fact, let's get a spoon. And put this one in there. Now, obviously we've said it's red, white and blue day. So I'm just going to put a little bit of white in here, like this. I'm going to bring this up. And I'm going to leave it just sitting on the side here. So you've seen how to fill a bag. Let's move that out of the way. I'm now going to put some meringue in. Let's move the bowl this side so you get to see it. Into another bowl. Once again, I'm still using metal bowls. There we go. A meringue takes colour really easily, so from that point of view, it's quite good. Red food colouring really does go a long way and everywhere, so expect to have it on your hands and having to get that off. Let me turn this way slightly, mastering where the cameras are here. I'm going to get rid of that and go to a last lip to speed this up. Depending on how red you want them, red is not always easy to get red. There we go. So we have that one ready to go. And let's turn what we have left in the bowl blue. So this was a paste colouring, which you can buy very easily. And you can also get liquid colors. They are, generally speaking, much more potent, and you really need to control it when you're putting it in. So just be aware of that. So here we go. You should be able to see this one turn blue. There you go, because it's the glass bowl. So very easy to actually turn blue. Many things will turn red, white, and blue for you. Another easy thing to do is make yourself some bread, and you can put some coloring in those rolls at the last sort of stage. And that will just knock it, once you've knocked it back and you're knocking it the second time, add some coloring then. And you can have red, white, and blue rolls. Let's put those over there. Right, let's do the same again. Get these all into the bags. So you're always going to make a cuff, really. Think of it like that. Protect your hands. Make sure your hands are washed and clean, because you're now touching the piping bag, and should I have any grease on my hands, it is going to move across, and it will ruin your meringues very quickly and very easily. So, and meringues can be piped. I mean, I'm just about to do them into, I don't know what the shape's called. I'm literally just going to pipe little nodules, knobs, whatever. But meringue, if you've got it thick enough, is totally pipeable into many shapes. So you can actually play with it from that point of view. When I take the ones out of the oven in a minute, you'll see how I played with the last ones as well. Just a different technique. I coloured the bag with some red and blue and put white icing in, and then let it come out so it looked more marble effect. We'll get rid of that over there. And here's our last bag. Right. So as you can see, it doesn't take long to make meringue. It doesn't take long to colour it. If you didn't want to colour the meringue, then colour the cream, because you can just as easily whip up cream, add some colouring into that, and you could have a white meringue with some red cream and a blue meringue. So you can do this in a whole. Now that you've got meringues of all colours, you could actually colour your cream as well and really add to the effect. So simple. The other beauty of meringues is you put them in an airtight container, they're going to last for about 3 weeks. So this is something, if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to a July the 4th party, I want to take something, you can get these ready now. And, you know, you can make loads of them so they're ready for all your family. Not a problem at all. Right, let's move that out of the way. And magically, I have a baking sheet right here. So let's just trim off the end of the piping bag like that. And we are just going to pipe it straight on. This is 2 eggs, 4 ounces of sugar, and it will roughly give us, on this size meringues, about 45, I would say. So 2 eggs makes quite a lot of meringues. There we go. Now, clearly you do not need to see me, just sit here and pipe. So I'm going to get the done meringues out of the oven and, whoops, let's finish that one off. Let you see meringues that are ready. So I'm just going to move these here. So here are ones I did earlier. The blue ones, the red ones, they've sat in an oven. You'll know if meringues are ready because they will lift off. If they don't lift off easily for you, then they're not actually fully dry. So that would tell you if they are or are not ready. And I just want to get the other set out because, whoops, for some reason when I turned it off, I did that. Can you see here how what I actually did was just put white icing in, and then what I did was put red, so you can see it better on, I think this one, not fully done yet. You can see I've got more of a marble effect. Is that showing? Yes, thank you, Corey. They're trying to get it there. But you have got the red, the white, and the blue, and the swirls. So that's totally another option for you. So follow the recipe. It's on tamsincochran.com. And we look forward to you posting photographs on our Facebook page. Once you've made these, just hashtag it, follow Tamsin or Dinner Done. We would love to see how you do your meringues, what colors, and any of your treats that you make for July the 4th that you've colored. We look forward to seeing them all. Do post them, and been great to be with you all again today. Thanks a lot.